going to begin with Carnage. And, there's carnage in the world. In Canada, Mark Carney has been elected as the new Prime Minister, having taken over from Justin Trudeau and calling an early election. He's suggesting that his election is another example of the Trump effect. So let's just have a look at a little bit of what Mark Carney had to say.
As I've been warning for months, America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. Never. But these are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never ever happen. But we also must recognize the reality that our world has fundamentally changed.
So there we are again with this narrative that the world has fundamentally changed. This is something we're hearing from Starmer, from Ursula von der Leyen, from Mark Carnage himself. And of course, Trump is the excuse for it. I have to say, though, Charles, the crowd's reaction to all that was thoroughly underwhelming. I don't think too many were buying it.
Well, I mean, I think underwhelming seems to be the theme of the whole affair. I mean, the fact that anyone would be inspired by such a man speaking in such a way is completely extraordinary, I would say, in the first instance.
Indeed. So in the meantime, according to the mainstream press, at least, it was carnage in Spain and Portugal on Monday, with a total power outage in Spain, which also severely disrupted Portugal. And there were also reports of impacts in France and Belgium in a much smaller way. Now, unsurprisingly, the WAGs were out in force. And this tweet is a pretty typical example, offering congratulations to Spain and Portugal for achieving net zero at last. It was only a week or so ago that the media was full of congratulations for Spain achieving 100% renewable energy production. So it's perhaps no surprise that one of the main suggestions for why this happened is a massive spike in solar and electricity generation, which overloaded the grid. This all resulted in tweets such as this, highlighting the central role of Agenda 2030 in Spain's thinking. So in this case, they have Agenda 2030 all over the trains, the Agenda 2030 logo and so on. But nevertheless, it wasn't long before darker explanations started appearing in the press. Accusations that this was a result of a cyber attack by, you guessed it, Russia. But is that likely? And the question I'd ask is, what has Spain done to Russia that Russia would carry out an attack in this way? On the other hand, just a few days ago, Spain cancelled a so-called defense contract with the world's preeminent cybersecurity nation, which is Israel. And remember that Unit 8200 spawned tech companies. They run just about every layer of the modern internet in the West. So if anyone is in a position to pull such a so-called cyber attack, Israel is. Now, I'm not claiming that Israel did it, but if there's any attempt to claim that this is the result of a cyber attack, then I would say it's pretty important to keep that possibility in mind. Now, the mainstream press, of course, filled their pages with claims of mass panic, such as this one. No power, no phone, no transport, Spain in a panic. Well, in fact, social media was not quite in agreement with that situation. So this is a typical tweet that we saw. Massive power blackout in Spain and Portugal, no internet, no payments, flights are cancelled. Media chaos, people are in panic. What really happened? We just took blankets, beer, and had a great time together. So, I don't really know what to say. Clearly, the mainstream press turning this into something that perhaps isn't quite accurate, but also the attempts to blame Russia for, without any substantiation for a cyber attack are hilarious. Vanessa, let me just ask you quickly for a comment on this. Russia or Israel, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think both are perfectly capable of it, but I think the most likely, in my view, would be Israel. But of course, we're not making that claim. We're just suggesting that they're very good at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you for that. Let's move on. And